bit rushed because I wanted to get on time, and then I was exhausted. Have you ever been like in a situation where you're just exhausted? Well, that's where I am now, in a situation where I'm exhausted. So hi, everybody. I just came on to talk to the Lemonheads and the folks. I haven't even shaved. I was deciding all day whether I'm going to go to the Grammys or not, and talking to people about, I'm just going to be honest with you, what that looks like, because I actually came here to cover it. So, and what happened the other day is not going to move me from my mission. If you're here, make sure, wow, look at you guys are all coming in here. Thank you. If you're here, please hit the like and the thumbs up on this, because it affects the algorithm and more people become aware of our channel. So thank you for supporting independent journalism, by the way. I'm putting that up there because it's really, really important at this time. A free and fair and independent press, really important at this time. And so especially for independent journalism, as I talked about with you guys yesterday, I think that's really, really, really important in these times, because we are living in a time now where they're trying to silence the media, and we do not need folks trying to silence the media. We need a strong press that stands up, that holds power to account, and that doesn't try to minimize our voices, hide our voices. Because if people can if people can tell you what is being a journalist and what's not and all that stuff, it's crazy. And what's not covered and all that, it's like, is that even constitutional for folks to? No, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Is that even a thing where people can tell you, like, oh no, this is not what you should be doing, this is not what, whatever. So anyways, I just want to say that I believe in a free and fair press. And just so you guys know, you know, when I went to Minneapolis, I went there as a journalist, to be a journalist, and to cover a story, and that's what I did, and that's what I stand by, that my mission. And I hope you guys understand right now that I'm doing this by myself, so it's not perfect. And so that's my mission. And I am just shocked at something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, which is chronicling what's happening, not judging, informing people with the truth at times, and all of those things, that somehow that was deemed as something that we should not do, something that I've been doing for the last 30 years. And I stand with all the journalists around the world and around the country and around the world, that this is, it's outrageous. Let's see, I just want to make sure, because one never knows if I'm live or where I'm live. It doesn't matter. I'm here. I'm going to hold the power to account, and I'm not going to stop. And I am going to do what I came here to do somewhat. I'm not going to do exactly what I'm going to do on the red carpet, but right now I'm getting ready to head to a pre-Grammy event. And because I do believe that artists are a huge part of keeping our First Amendment, and they're going to be a huge part of moving us along into the future and making sure that we keep our democracy, because they are the creative ones. They are the ones who are usually unafraid. Sometimes people learn through art and they don't even realize that they are learning through art, if you know what I mean. They have no idea. The same thing with comedians. Why do you think I'm on tour with D.L. Hughley? Is because people often learn even through comedians. You learn things. What do they say? Sometimes, well, not the truth is often spoken in jest, and I believe that. And I also believe that I don't care where you get your information from, as long as it's accurate. We've been having this conversation about, people have been asking, is Donlemon still a journalist? Is he a journalist? It's like, what? Fuck you. Yes, of course I'm a journalist. What do you think? All of the 30 some years that I've been doing that I forget overnight, or because I'm on a different platform of some sort, that somehow that usurps the journalistic credentials that I have, and all of a sudden I'm going to change? No, I have the same approach, but I realize that I'm on a different streaming platform right now, and the only thing that you're seeing is that I can be freer, that I don't have to, pull my punches, that I don't have to think about, all the people who are in the war zones and the other employees around the world who are in the company that I'm representing, because I'm representing these big 3 letters. But please, again, guys, hit the thumbs up and hit the like. It's really important because I want many people to hear that. And I'm just going to start hopping on here even more, even when it's not perfect, because I think that you guys need to hear that. Yes, thank you. Who is it over on, someone over, I'm going to put it up, on Twitch said the same thing, capitulate. We don't need to capitulate. That's not how you deal with a bully. You deal with a bully by telling me, you guys know what you do. You punch him right in the nose. And I don't mean that physically. I'm talking about, that's a metaphor, right? I'm using that as an example of how you should conduct yourself. So if you have someone who is bullying you and you have a platform, and if that platform is a microphone, then you use that microphone to prevent them, or to combat that bullying. If you are a writer, you use the pen or the computer or whatever, or your words, or the written word to fight back. And we saw what happened in the 30s and 40s in Germany when people just capitulated. And the thing is that people don't capitulate because they're just like, oh, it's through fear. People are afraid because sometimes they're afraid when they don't see others standing up. Sorry, when they don't see others standing up and they become afraid. And then all of a sudden, because everybody's afraid and they don't say anything, or they want to go along, they're getting a lot of money not to say anything. I got to keep my big job. I got to do all those things that people, that they do when they're, when they become afraid, when fear is involved. And so I think that especially in this moment, you cannot allow people to make you afraid. Even in your own life, if you're not a journalist, I always say you have to be willing to sacrifice something. And you guys think, like, when I say stuff like that, you may be thinking, excuse me, if you don't know me, you may be thinking I'm just saying that stuff. But think about what I've gone through over the course of my career and over just the last couple of days or so. You have to be willing to sacrifice something. I'm not telling you that you need to go and be arrested or any of those things. And I'm not telling you to violence or to break the law. But during the civil rights movement, to fight for civil rights, people did what John Lewis said. A lot of people said, this is get into good trouble. And by getting into good trouble, I don't necessarily mean protesting. If that's your thing, then do it. But getting into good trouble could mean that you're standing up to your organization. If you're a journalist that says, no, you can't do that. You have to be put up. You have to do false equivalence. You got to be, make sure that when you're talking about Donald Trump, you got go easy. No, you don't do that. So that's what I mean by getting into good trouble. Because when I've had so many people, even people who you would not expect, conservatives, members of law enforcement, who said, Don, and it's going to happen sooner, but I want you to project yourself 20 years into the future, and you're going to look back and go, wow, I'm so glad I stood for something.